those edges that cause sometimes irritation also cause inspiration. And they're very useful when you're in the recording studio working on songs.
Hey now, if you are a child of the world, born to build.
A lot of bands have kind of got stuck in the same kind of groove, but we've always been very willing. In the time that I've been in the band, there's always been a willingness to keep moving.
Flexibility, I agree. I think that's one of the most important things to us.
Good question. It's very difficult to pick favourites, but there are some that I feel more invested in. Future Past, the album title track, that I think is one that means a lot to me. It's a story about what it's like to be in a long-term relationship, what it's like to have a past, and sometimes you're always up against that past, and you have to remind yourself, I'm still in this, we're still alive. Don't be sad about the fact that the past is gone, because this moment now can be just as important. In the future, it will be your past. I would call this period the sunshine period. I think since the last album, we've been in this really golden sunshine period because we haven't had to explain ourselves, we haven't had to defend ourselves. We've reached the point where we know what we do, and other people have started liking it a lot more.
Well, it was like working with Giorgio after this many years. I say it was like going on a date with a girl you had a crush on at high school. It was like we've loved him from afar, for so many years. And we met him at an awards show. We actually got to give him an award at GQ Awards, and I think we were all really struck. You met him at another time, but we were struck by what a lovely guy he was. He was such a sweet guy, and we were like, wow, it'd be so good to go in the studio together. I mean, Nick,
Well, I met him a few years earlier, but we discussed working together then, and we said, how is it possible that Duran Duran and Giorgio Moroder have never worked together? He felt the same way. And so we finally did make it happen, and I think we'd all agree, he's the maestro.
So we were like, as John's analogy is very good actually, the girl who you fancied at high school. So we were all on our best behaviour. We didn't argue with anything that Giorgio said. And there was one point when I went into the vocal booth, and I laid down some harmonies, and I came out and went, "Oh no, you can't sing that, Simon." I said, "What?" He goes, "No, you're singing a major third over a minor chord." And I said, "But we always do that.
That's my thing.
That's Duran Duran's thing." And he says, "No, not on one of my records." And I went, "Okay."
It is actually true that Warren Cuccurullo knew before we did that Andy was making a record with other people in California, because the irony was he'd come to us and said, "You need a guitarist, because your guitarist's working with the other half of my band.
Yeah.
And so I don't have any band anymore. Can I please join your band?" And he did join us for quite a long time and made some very special songs with us.
It's kind of amazing, in this internet age where you know what everybody's doing all the time. I think he was even playing gigs.
Yeah.
And that we didn't know about it because it was in California, miles, like on another planet. Well, we first met Nile actually backstage at a gig that we played with Blondie. We were touring the States with Blondie. So he took Tony, the Chic drummer, to the show in New Jersey. And, we always gave Chic props, right, when we were starting out. So when we finally met, it was as if we'd known each other for a long time. And we really clicked with those guys. We were like friends right away. I think we went, didn't we go out that night? Did we go out with Nile?
That's usually what happened in New York City.
Yeah. I feel like we went to Studio 54.
And then the next time we met him, he brought Madonna.
Madonna was there.
That was to Madison Square Garden. I remember that. She was sitting on the sitting in the dressing room with the feet up on the table, chewing gum, pulling it out and flicking it around a finger. Ciao Italia, we're Duran Duran, and we're going to be on the October cover of Billboard Italia.